Good morning, everybody. I thought I'd give you another update on Google Meet, as well as show you how I go about writing in a Google Meet, as in handwriting. So that would probably be handy to some classes, maybe not to others. So if that's not you, it might not work that well. But for I would imagine math, and for me in foreign language, it definitely helps. So first I'm going to go into my Meet here. And one thing you might have heard there was some feedback. What I did was I joined in I have a PC that I'm working off of right now, and I also joined in on my Chromebook. Now, you could do this all off your Chromebook and it would work just fine. It would just mean that you would have to toggle in and out of sharing different screens a little differently. But if you do have two machines, it's exceptionally easy to make this work. You just have to log into you have to log into your Meet from both devices. And then you'll need to mute and turn off your sound on one of the devices so that it doesn't have interference. But what I'll do when I'm in here, if I am wanting to do some handwriting, and actually before I do that, I'll show you one quick thing that I do that I think is kind of a good standard practice, which would be to go down to the host controls. So in the bottom left-hand corner, I click on that. I turn off letting everybody share their screen. If you needed to, you could always toggle that back on if that was something that you wanted, but that would prevent kids from starting to share their screen and maybe doing something inappropriately. Then I go to the far right corner, and I click there, and here's a few new features that you can have. I'm going to turn on my camera so you can see how this would work. Come on, camera, come back on. If I go here, I can go turn on background blur, which you may or may not have that yet in your Google rollout. But if you did, you could just click on that and it will do the zoom thing where it kind of blurs you out. You can see there's a little pixelation, but you could show kids how to do that, especially. In my situation, I don't care if people see my background, but a kid might. I do have a kid who his whole family is in the background in the kitchen making meals, and kids running around, and so that might be something that particular student might like to do. The other thing that I'll do each time, I'll turn my camera back off here. The other thing I do each time is I go to the change layout. I showed you this the other day. I click on tiled and I bump it up to 30. It'll go all the way to 49 if you needed it to. I don't need that, so I just stop at 30 because I think it'll probably save some bandwidth that way as well. So once I'm in, you guys know how to do the present, and so I could present a Chrome tab. Then it's going to pop up what I want to do, and I've already opened a thing called Google Jamboard. So this is the address you can see at the top, jamboard.google.com. It's obviously a Google product, but it allows you to handwrite on your screen. Okay, so on our district-issued Chromebooks, you would be able to open this. If you're only on a Chromebook, you will lose the ability to see your class, which is why I do it off of two machines, because I can use my PC to see my class and see the chat and have my interaction that way. And then I use my Chromebook, log into that same Google Meet from that Chromebook, and now I can present from that machine, because even though I turned off allow others to present, since you're the host, you're the teacher, it will allow you to present from either machine. So in Google Jamboard, here's how that would work. I click down here on a new jam, okay, the typical Google thing where there's the big plus symbol, and it will open up an untitled jam. I could call it whatever I wanted to just by tapping on that, okay? I have options for a background, so math teachers, you may like that. I like this feature, which is just the lines. I could go clear. I could change it to any color that I wanted to, or most any color that I wanted to. And then over here on the left-hand side, you have different things. You could have a laser pointer that you could do different things with if you, for whatever reason you needed to. You can create sticky notes, which would be like a post-it note that would pop up on here. Here's your eraser here, different options, adding images and text boxes, etc. But here's the one that I think is really handy. If you click on the pen And actually I had to tap on that twice. You can choose the size that you wanted it to be, whether a marker, highlighter, brush, etc. And you can pick on whatever color you want the thing to be. Okay, so if I'm on there, you'll notice that as soon as I move over onto this board, I can now draw. I could go like hi AHS. Now you'll notice this is pretty awkward right here because I'm doing that off my PC. But if I were to switch over onto my Chromebook and do it from there, now watch what I'll do. I'll stop from there. Here's my regular Google Meet board. Now I'm on, if I click over here to show that I'm on here twice, okay, I can go to this one, which this one means I'm on my Chromebook right now. I can go Present Now, my Chrome tab. Oops, I needed to open it first. Sorry about that. So I'm going to open up Jamboard. You'll see that it showed our other jam in there, but let me present another one. So I open this. And I'm now going to present that untitled Google Jam. So here's what it looks like. It'll pop up on the screen. It tells me I'm presenting to everybody. At this point, I can take my Chromebook, fold over to tablet mode, and then I can use my pen. And now it gets a lot better because I have a lot better control at this point. So notice the difference when I did that off of the Chromebook versus off of the PC. So clearly the PC and a mouse is not the way to go when you're going to use this. It would be using your Chromebook. But that's something that would help people that need to write special text. You know, I use accents and upside down punctuation since I teach Spanish. Math teachers, this would be a great way to go to put your equations out there. Science, I would imagine, as well. So it's a great handwriting app to take the place of, since you're not at your whiteboard, and you could write on here, and the kids are telling me, reporting back, that it's very clear on their screens. They're having no lag time. It's easy for them to see. They can also pin that to their screen if they have the setup that they can pin it well, but they could also just pin it to their Chromebook and have it take up the whole screen, and then unpin it when they need to go back to seeing me teach. When I'm done, I just hit the stop presenting mode, and it goes back to here, and now I'm back live on my Google Meet. So that's how I do it. Google Jamboard, it's really quite slick. It will definitely allow you to use your whiteboard. Now, integration is coming to that in Google Meets soon. They say within a few weeks. Once again, I wish that Google could have done this all at the start, but it is what it is. So in a few weeks, like just today, the update I noticed was that you could blur your background. I would imagine that if you just keep taking a look at those settings, you're going to start seeing more and more of these features coming up. So eventually, Jamboard will be integrated right into it, and you won't have to go back and forth. You'll just be in your Meet, and you'll hit the Jamboard feature, and it'll just start up for you. I don't know how that'll work yet, but it will be embedded into Google Meets. So that's the way that I do some handwriting. Any drawings that would need to be done would be great that way. So if you have any questions, hit me with an email. I'd be happy to help you on that. But I hope that was something that you'll find beneficial. Have a great day, everybody.